What does Billy Batson spread on his toast?
Should jam? I don't know.
Yes!
Did I get it?
You got it.
It's the first one I ever got. I never got one
Way to
before.
go. And
Yeah, I'm
that's how
only
you
like 201.
and that's how you kick off the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. Welcome to Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Tonight it's your favorite two boys. It's me, Magic Lasso, and Signature King. How are you today?
I am well. I am very well.
Did you leap forward?
Unfortunately.
You did. See, the leaping forward doesn't bother me because I do so much better when we're in this time that we're in right now with more daylight, and I just function so much better that it's worth losing that hour of sleep.
Not me. I'd rather go back 3 hours. I want it to be dark at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Not me. But it's great to be back with you for another action-packed Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Have you done any comic hunting this past week, or shopping, or browsing, or thinking, or?
Comic book thinking all the time. I did go to my LCS, but I was like 2 weeks behind because I just got crazy busy, and I picked up a couple cool ones if I can remember which stack I put them in because I have several books that I need to put away. So it's not that one. It's this one. It is not this stack. So there's.
I'll say hi to the chat while you're looking, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
And first, if you're watching on the Rewind, thank you so much for joining us and welcome. And hello to White Tiger Cool Calm Collected Muabunga, my friend. Thank you for being here. Digger Jim is here in the beginning as well, and he likes the new time because it's more time to dig. That's right. So thank you guys for popping in, the first ones in the live stream for tonight.
Yeah, I picked up the Dakota incident.
Oh, I've heard about that. Let me make you big.
A foil.
Oh, nice.
Very foily.
Yeah. Did you read it yet?
I have not. I glanced through it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. What is it? New History of the DC Universe Dakota Incident.
Yeah.
I like the new DC Universe, but I don't know. I'd give it like a B- overall.
Okay. Were you swayed by the foil?
No. I just honestly, I pre-ordered it. They didn't have any A copies left, so they gave me the foil in my box. I was like, cool. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah. Digger Jim.
Yeah, I think it is
picked
one
up a
shot.
copy of. Yeah, I think it is too. He's picked up a copy of it as well. Very nice. So let's segue over to what's going on news-wise. Last week, I think that you would agree with me. I thought we had a really good show last week. I mean, all our shows are good, but last week was definitely
extra
a lot of
special.
Fun. Yeah, and we saluted for Women's History Month the women, not only the comic book characters, but we talked a little bit about the creators. We talked a little bit about the ladies of comic book YouTube as well, which there were many more than I thought there would be. We mentioned them. But unfortunately, to start out the news, we have some sad news about one of the female comic book creators. Tatiana Wood has passed away at the age of 99. So she passed away towards the end of January. We just found out about that this week. She worked on covers and interior pages for DC Comics. She was part of very critically acclaimed teams that worked on series like Swamp Thing, Camelot 3000, and Animal Man, among others. But 99, that's a good number to make it to. So
I would be upset if I went at 99. I was like, really?
So close, yeah.
We couldn't make that, just turn that dial one more.
Yeah. That reminded me of, Betty White passed away at the age of 99. But at the time she passed away, she was on the cover of People magazine, and it said Betty at 100. And I'm like, fake news, fake news.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. So she was days away from turning 100.
Yeah, she was. She was very, very close. So, yeah. So we'll talk some more about what's in the news. Emerald City Comic Con had gone on. So there's been a couple things that have come out regarding Emerald City Comic Con. Are you reading Absolute Superman?
Yes.
Do you know who King Shazam is in Absolute Superman?
Like, do I know his human form? Or
I guess yes. I'm not reading the series, so it's hard for me to.
I don't think I read that one. I think that one's next on my list. I have it. I don't think I've read it yet, but that's one of the main reasons I want to make sure I picked that one up.
Okay.
I saw the preview.
Quick spoiler, okay?
Spoiler alert, everybody.
Yeah, spoiler alert, very quick. Jason Aaron revealed at Emerald City Comic Con that King Shazam is Teth Adam.
Oh yeah, I knew that. That
Okay,
it wasn't
you
Shazam.
knew that, okay.
It was technically Black Adam. But...
Yes, so I thought that was interesting. And issue 18 is kicking off a major story arc with King Shazam in the aftermath of the Battle of Kansas.
Yeah, I hope we get like an absolute Shazam series. That would be awesome. We are getting absolute Green Arrow and absolute Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down for a absolute Shazam. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hello to Christina Payne. We're talking about great people in our comic book community for Women's History Month. There's one right there who's in the chat with us. So hope you're doing well and have had a nice weekend. So also at Emerald City Comic Con, Jeff Loeb talked a little bit about Batman Hush, the second Batman Hush. So he says that the delay, because this issue is like 9 months late, has been regarding Jim Lee. And Jim Lee has been so busy with so many other things that has been the actual reason why the Batman Hush hasn't been wrapped up. They cite the Superman movie as one of the reasons as to why the comic book or interests that have taken Jim Lee away from finishing the second Hush. He also goes on to say that his Batman Wonder Woman, the Truth series that he's doing with Jim Chung, is going to reference the original Batman Hush series. And I believe that story with Wonder Woman is set to take place, the events take place between the original Hush and Hush 2. And then regarding Hush 3, I believe he said that it's going to end on a cliffhanger. No, I'm sorry, Batman 163 is going to end on a cliffhanger. And he promises in 2027 you'll get 6 issues of Batman Hush 3, the second half of Hush 2. So, and that end of Hush 3 is going to segue into the beginning of the Matt Fraction Jorge Jimenez Batman #1, which has already been out.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Do you have any news to share with us?
Yes, we got our first look at Lanterns.
Okay, what do you think?
Trailer. I suggest you all see it. I know you're not a big trailer person, Mr. Lasso, but if you watched this trailer, it would give you nothing. It's one of those trailers that give you absolutely nothing.
Okay.
In terms of your story. I mean, we know who the Green Lanterns are, and we know what actors they are. One thing that I will think that you'll get from this trailer is how the characters are going to interact with each other in terms of the dialogue. That's pretty cool. Just to listen to the character or the actor who plays Hal Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend the trailer just for him and the way that he thinks it's appropriate to train another Green Lantern. That's pretty funny. But on that, it gives you nothing on the story.
Is anyone called the Poozer?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I need someone to be called the Poozer.
There is what's really funny part of the trailer is Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are having this little small back and forth about the Green Lantern Corps, and Hal Jordan says one of them is a effing squirrel, referring to Chipped. It was so funny. It's a furry. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It gives nothing away in terms of story. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
But we do get DC kind of release this backstory a little bit. The character Atan, who's being played by Ben Victor, the storyline for Atan is he's trying to find the cause for his planet's death, and he's just going from universe to universe. There's a big theory that he is going to be playing Atrocitus. He doesn't hold any. We only know of the Green Lanterns in the trailer. They show no other things, although we do know, according to DC, that they have confirmed, there are going to be Yellow Lanterns and Red Lanterns that we know of. So there could be more. I'm still excited for the series, but I think DC did a good job of giving us a little bit of taste with giving us the most plain Jane trailer they could have without giving us any story. Okay. Like I said, I know you're not a trailer person, but it's safe trailer just for you.
Okay.
So I recommend it. Yeah.
I want to say hello to Olivia, who's popped in. Hope that you're having a nice weekend as well. She's asking if we've been reading Next Level Zatanna. I haven't. I've been reading Absolute Zatanna in her appearance in Absolute Wonder Woman, and I've been enjoying that. And even though the new Zatanna series that's coming is not Absolute Zatanna, I'm still kind of excited that she has a series coming. That's a character I've always liked.
Yeah. Oh, the news article just popped up about Teth Adam. You're right. You said it. I got one. It's wild. But yeah, I think I knew that. I think they announced earlier that it was Teth Adam. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but in other comic book news, they are creating a new Teen Titans run. And guess who they announced will be in it? Who's leading the team?
John Stamos.
No, this is a comic book run, not a movie run.
John Stamos, the comic book.
That would be cool. It is not going to be led by Dick Grayson or Robin.
Donna Troy.
Not even close. It is going to be led by Jason Todd. The Red Hood.
The Red Hood.
Yeah, it looks different. I got to tell you what, though, I really don't care for this art. It's weird because I'm very particular about my art. So here we have, what you consider a regular comic book, right? And this is okay for me. Mm-hmm. But what I really don't like is when they make it really cartoonish. I don't know why, but I don't like my comic books with a lot of cartoon style art. That might be silly to say, or people might not understand, but I don't care for the really cartoonish runs. I really don't. Is that weird?
No, to each their own.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting news that Teen Titans is going to be led by Jason Todd. Wild. Written by Kyle Higgins. Coming up. It just says 2026 sometime.
I don't know if she's going to be an Absolute Wonder Woman. Cool if she wants to be. I
think that'd be pretty neat.
It would be neat. So I mean, the characters that I wasn't expecting Absolute Zatanna to make her debut in Absolute Wonder Woman, and she did. So
yeah, I like Supergirl. Well, this is going to be the year of Supergirl because we get that movie coming out in July. So
the summer of Supergirl starts next month, and I'm kind of thinking that when I have a pick for a retro review next month, that I want to do something Supergirl.
The answer is always Justice League.
Yep.
No, that's the right show. It is the right show. Always
that's
Justice League.
Hey, Glenn, how are you? Hope you're doing well.
I hope my hopes for Summer of Supergirl is we get some really cool covers. I want at least one cover of Millie Ilcock as Supergirl. Mm-hmm. I want one, just one.
What about?
It's okay if they do.
What about Jason as Lobo?
That would be cool too. But I want a Millie Ilcock Supergirl because I have a feeling that she will do a Star Wars animated universe signing that I can take advantage of because we saw that with David Cornsweet. So
yeah,
which by the way, I have no idea where my book is still. So
it's one of those mysteries in life.
Yeah.
Jason has popped in here too. Southern Comic Geek. Oh, Harley and Supergirl is what you want. Thank you.
I don't think that'll work. One character is really good, and the other one I could care less about. And I already said I like Supergirl, so that pretty much narrows it down.
Yes. That is my
That's
answer
a really
on this.
good.
Yes.
That's a really good segue into my next
Do
news.
it.
So last week we talked about Paramount buying DC, and Paramount already released and said James Gunn is safe. We don't want to move James Gunn. We like what he's doing. We're not going to get rid of him. Well, it sounds like that might be true for Paramount, but not necessarily true for James Gunn. James Gunn wants absolutely nothing to do with Paramount. And if sources are correct, this is a little bit of speculation. He is looking to possibly buy out his remaining contract with DC and leave. He does not want to work with Paramount at all.
What a mess.
That would be awful. You imagine we're in the mix of this big DC universe created by James Gunn. It's got all kinds of hype and craze, whatever, and it's dead after like 2 movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, are those videos of you and Harley fake?
Believe it or not, they are AI.
I don't think so.
That's strange to think, but it is.
That's awesome.
Jared Christopher signature on the Superboy. Dude, that is cool. Where's that happening? I want that.
Yeah, where is that happening at?
I would totally send in for that. That'd be one of them I sent into. So I'm going on, and this is a big tease for me and the remainder year and the rest of my channel. So I'll drop this little nugget right here and see what it sprouts. This is a weird year for signatures and comic books for me. And here's why. I have gotten more signatures from non-comic book related sources that have signed comic books so far this year. So other media includes like movies, TV shows, video games. Then I have actual comic book creators from artists and writers. This is a weird year. This is a really weird year. And we're in March, so it just started. So hang on to your hats or your crowns, whatever you're wearing. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Yeah, I can't wait to show some of you what I've planning on getting and what I've gotten already. Cool. I've shown almost none of it so far, so it's very exciting. Very exciting indeed.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
Wonder Woman and the Justice League Dark Lords of Chaos versus the Lords of Order. It's an absolute. Is that an absolute run, or is that?
I don't think
is it absolute Wonder Woman?
I don't think so.
Okay, well then that's bizarre.
I don't really have an opinion.
I like the Lords of Order. I also like the Lords of Chaos. They're pretty cool too. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Maybe there's some sort of dark influence or manipulation there. I'd be interested to see that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Any other news to pass along for us?
Unfortunately not. That's gonna wrap it up for me.
Okay. As you pull up the assist, you picked out the first two. We're doing 2 issues tonight for the retro review, and tell us what you picked and why.
So I picked Superman Shazam First Thunder. One, because it's Shazam and it's awesome, right? And this is, in my opinion, a very underrated storyline. This would have been a really good way for, think back in the Snyderverse, for Shazam and Superman to get together. They could have turned this into maybe not this whole storyline of movie, but this could have laid a really solid foundation for any sort of DC, Shazam, Marvel crossover. But yeah, I just like the story. I think it's cool. I've always loved it when these two characters get together because Shazam can do everything Superman can do, plus he's magic. So he very underrated art by Joshua Middleton. Super agree. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing other than that.
Well, I'll kick us off with issue 1, and we're starting in the throne room of the wizard Shazam, and he realizes that they're at a crossroads, and it's slow, it's deliberate, and he sees time's horizon as easily as a sailor can see the sun dip into the surface of the ocean. He says this is the time, before the coming of the Amazon and the Speedster and the Space Knight. He goes on to add that it's less than 1 year since the criminals of Gotham started seeing a winged creature. And it's just as Metropolis has found itself under the protection of a brightly clad guardian. So we cut over to Fawcett City, and in this city, another defender has come. So we see an airplane that it looks like the instruments are out. They're radioing Mayday. They're in trouble. And it looks like the pilot's plan is to come down on the street to try to land this. And they're saying, don't do that. You're going to kill people. You're going to hurt people. And he doesn't really know of any other option to do. So the crowd sees it. They start to panic. They start to run. As he's starting to make his descent down, he's almost down on top of their heads almost, when all of a sudden you hear a voice say, "You're going to be okay. I've got this." And Shazam has saved the day. So the wizard Shazam says he is my disciple, he's my herald, my champion, for I am the wizard Shazam. And when he speaks my name, my powers, which are fueled by the gods themselves, run through him. He's just at the beginning, at the first steps of a journey, and he is at a battle with Fate. Fate is an emotionless beast, as well as an inexhaustible foe. So we cut to the night before. We're in Metropolis at the Museum of Natural History, and there's some thieves that are in the process of robbing this museum. And the leader of this group is trying to tell them to work fast. We got to get out of here. And he's like, hey, we're not damaging anything. This isn't our first heist either. And he's like, we need to get on and get out of here. But all of a sudden, because he says, we have to succeed in this project, the powers below demand it. And another voice says, the powers below? And that voice belongs to Superman. And he says, I have to tell you, I don't like the sound of that. And they realize it's Superman, and they're kind of in trouble. So he goes on to say, 6 museum robberies across the country have all stolen these ancient artifacts from Europe. And he says, are you the guys that are doing this? As they're obviously committing this crime. And they're like, it makes no difference. We will leave and take what we came for. And you're going to learn what true power is. So all of a sudden they start to act. And Superman, for a second, is like, oh boy. And these spears have formed this massive creature that is starting to growl at Superman. He's very fast, and he goes to attack, and he's getting Superman. He's got him pinned down to the ground for a second. Superman uses his heat vision to try to get this creature off of him. The creature reacts to the pain of that. As he falls backwards, Superman stomps down on him, and he's ready to finish this quick. As he goes to punch him, all of a sudden the creature completely disappears. And Superman is left to see like a little coin that's on the ground. And he realizes what I realized as I was reading it. It's magic. Oh boy. That's what Shazam says on the next page. And we cut back to Fawcett City. It's the Solar Center construction site that is under siege. And we got this massive giant robot. It's something that you don't see every day. Shazam is flying up. He's thinking about a few months ago he'd given anything to see 2 giant fire-breathing robots up close, but it's kind of lost its appeal now. So he goes up, tries to stop the robot, and we get a sequence of action of him taking down these 2 robots, pinning one robot up against the other. And the robot will eventually pick up a truck, get ready to hurl it at Shazam, and he's like, crud. But he's able to easily stop it. He tells the folks down below to look out, and he whips one of the vehicles at the other robot. Robot explodes, and he starts working on the one that's left behind, and he's able to finally defeat him, where he meets with Bruce Gordon, the Solar Center's chief scientific advisor. And Bruce Gordon is thanking him for saving what he did, and they're having a conversation back and forth. He's asking if they can keep some of the wreckage. Maybe they can find some answers as to who was attacking them. And he says, well, if the cops say it's okay, then use them as souvenirs and good luck with whatever you do, as he flies away. We cut over now to Billy Batson. Obviously, that's Captain Marvel's true identity. He's talking to Scott Cooper, who is his best friend. And Billy's been living essentially homeless. And he's telling Scott about, look what I did, because Scott knows that he's Captain Marvel. He's like, was it in the papers? And Scott's like, you had like major news coverage everywhere on taking these down. And Scott is talking about how he's kind of intercepting some mail from social services before Mrs. Woodruff can get to it. And he starts to say, Billy, why don't you crash with us? Mrs. Woodruff's, she's all right. And he's like, no, I'm not going to go to another foster home. He's like, I'm going to be just fine. I got everything that I need right down here in my base down here, as he's living with other homeless people. And Scott kind of thinks that they're a bunch of freaks down there. And Billy goes on to say, they're not so bad. Besides, anyone gives me trouble, all I have to do is just say one word. So we cut over to Dr. Sivana and his assistant, who's talking about Shazam stopping what apparently Dr. Sivana put into motion with these robots. It's Thaddeus Sivana. He's the founder and CEO of Sivana Industries, one of the 4 largest conglomeratives on Earth. He's talking to his vice president of general operations, David Tan. And they're talking about how Captain Marvel stopped them and was in their way with the gigantic robots, and how this plan didn't exactly go the way that it should have, or the way that they planned. And Sivana says it would have been great, they would have leveled the place and we would have made money on the insurance to boot. He's like, yeah, but there's Captain Marvel. And he's like, get Lex Luthor on the phone for me. And they're like, why do you want to talk to Lex Luthor? You hate him. And he's like, I never said that. He's like, please, you've been saying this as long as I've ever known you. You even said it like an hour ago. And he's like, Lex Luthor's dealing with a flying suit that tries to save the day as well. And I can't imagine him not trying to kill him. I want to get a hold of him to see what he does or how he tries to work on that situation. We cut over to the History Museum. Got Billy Batson there using his binoculars, and he sees that something's going on the rooftop. So he Shazams, and we get a great next page of the lightning hitting and Shazam appearing. And it's our same crooks that we saw over in Metropolis. They're now over in Fawcett City. And they are robbing the place, getting the artifacts that they need, only to be interrupted by Shazam. So essentially, they pulled the same stunt that they did as Superman. So they say, we're quite adept at dispatching things like this into the likes of you. And they use the magic, and you start to see the mist form. And this time, there's 2 creatures that are going after Shazam. And on the next, that page right there, the bottom panel, I love the bottom 2 panels, because you see the outside of the museum, then all of a sudden you see Captain Marvel flying through the door on the outside of the museum. So he lands, he's taking his knocks pretty good, and someone says, are you okay there? Looks like he could use a hand. Superman has arrived, and that's how issue 1 wraps up.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Super Russ 9000, who has joined us.
All right, so bringing up issue 2 here. And here we have our cool issue 2 cover. Yeah, I like this cover. I think this one's one of my favorite covers of the series. Those 2 in action always looks good. So we start off here with Thaddeus Stevens, Dr. Sivana, and he, zipping around his helicopter, and he's actually meeting with Lex Luthor. So I gotta say, I don't particularly care for how this Lex Luthor is drawn. Looks kind of silly to me, but that's okay. He actually looks like the Lex Luthor from Smallville. I can never remember his name. I'm sure someone will remember.
You talk about Michael Rosenbaum, the actor that played
him? Rosenbaum. Yeah, it does kind of look like Michael Rosenbaum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're discussing, how to move forward with this. We cut over to Shazam, and he's like Superman too. He's got the super vision, he's got the super hearing, so he's aware of what's happening. But Shazam is being stalked by somebody, and he's watching him, and he saw Billy Batson turn from Shazam to Billy Batson, and he saw right where he went. We cut back to Superman and Shazam. They're at the museum. They got these big monster looking things. They're coming up with some sort of plan to take them out. But hey, it just comes down to just being the two biggest, and baddest heavy hitters in the DC universe. I would say in some aspects, Shazam could beat Superman. Keep in mind that Superman does have a vulnerability to magic. Um, I've noticed that when it comes to that vulnerability, it depends on who's writing them. Um, some people write Superman super sensitive to magic. In this case, he's not as sensitive to magic. So they're beating up these two things, and Superman gets zapped by something, and it puts him in some sort of crystal. Meanwhile, we cut down to the bad guys, and they're grabbing what they can. They've got their device, whatever they're looking for. So we move back here to Billy and to Superman, and I've got to say this is the most teenage thing I've ever seen in this run. So if we come down here, I'm going to zoom in. We're going to look at this last panel. He's got his tongue sticking out, and my kids do this too when they're thinking about something really hard. They'll put that tongue out. So I don't know why, but it just made me laugh. But you can see in Superman's face, he's not too sure this is a good idea to let Shazam punch this thing to get him out. Kind of funny nonetheless. And it does work. So once he's out, here come these the ghouls again, and Superman's able to freeze them. I don't know why he didn't try that last time, because they're made of slime. Just try that. Classic Billy Batson here. Holy moly. And here comes the second one, and turns out that he's the one to blast the laser to put the crystals on Superman or whatever. But it looks like Shazam can take it, no problem. So he distracts the creature thing, and Superman is able to freeze it. Boom, done. They took care of it. And I got to say, that's teamwork if I ever saw it. Billy has a really good line in the back of that issue. He says, "Man, I got to learn how to do that move." That's really funny. But yeah, and here they have some really cool small talk. I think it speaks to their friendship. Superman's like, you just, how do you learn things? And Billy's like, wisdom of Solomon. I got it. And Billy asks Superman if he has a minute to talk, and where do they go? Mount Everest, to be alone, of course. But Shazam here is kind of confiding in Superman about his magical abilities and how he came to it. My only complaint with not Superman, but Shazam in this issue is they have his cape cord literally wrapped all the way around his neck, like a little kid
I see
would,
that.
like a little kid would, tie like, a curtain or a bed sheet, around his neck or a blanket, I don't know why that bothers me so much. But it does. It bothers me a lot. I don't know why, but yeah. And they're talking about, their past and their, how things get taken over, how do things how does Superman go into space? When Superman tells him he can go into space. And they talk about their abilities, and it's really interesting to see. Billy doesn't have a whole lot of people he can trust to talk about Shazam problems, but it's cool that he found that in Superman, someone who honestly can't really relate to what it's like to be magic. Keep in mind that one of Shazam's abilities that they don't really use very often is he doesn't really know spells, but he can see spells. Like if something's written on the wall, he can see that it's magic and what it's supposed to do. We cut back to Dr. Sivana and his protege, and they're talking about the plan moving forward. We move on to the cult, I imagine. Is that what we're calling them? The cult? The people who stole all the museum pieces. They look to be in some sort of cave, and they have
The ones
somebody.
from down under.
The ones from down under, the Australians.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Australia. And they're going through this ritual, and it looks like it's going to be some sort of human sacrifice, and then we see the one line here at the bottom of this panel, and it says Sabak. Um, for those of you who are not sure what that means, that is the opposite of Shazam. Um, Sabak is an acronym of demons. And for the life of me, I can't remember what they are for, but like Shazam is an acronym for the Greek gods, Sabak is an acronym for the demons. So with one word, he says Sabak, and we imagine we're going to see him here in a second. So here we cut to Fawcett City Solar Center construction site, where we are back with Dr. Bruce Gordon at the Solar Center's chief scientific advisor. And they see this thing coming in the distance. They're not sure what it is. We move over back to Superman and Shazam. Excuse me. And they're still on Mount Everest, and Superman hears it. We have to wait. I hear something back in Fawcett City, and Shazam says he can hear it too. So here we see our first glimpse at Sabak, who has all the same abilities as Shazam, with a few that Shazam can't do. And we imagine he's going to be just as powerful as Shazam. Now, if you have ever seen the Black Adam movie, you get a reinterpreted version of Sabak. I'm glad they did it that way. It's a crown. You have to wear like the crown and then say Sabak. This kind of more unique than this one. But this one is a little bit more true to the origins of Sabak, where you have to have a human host to say Sabak, not just put on a crown and say it. But yeah, that's Sabak, and we're gonna see him do some cool stuff here in the next. There's only 4 issues in this run. 4 issues.
Yeah,
4 issues in this run. So halfway through the run, we got our first big villain, which is
yeah. Yeah, next time that it's your turn to pick on the retro review, you might have to pick the other 2.
And we just might.
Yeah. I want to say hi to Mr. Gretzky 9966. Matt, I hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about these stories in a minute, but I'm also going to throw out here right now, we're going to have extra time in today's show. If you guys have questions about anything that you want to talk about, DC Comics would be preferred, but you can start throwing out questions now. We're going to get to them in a little bit. So your thoughts about this portion, this half of this story that we read?
It's been a while since I read this. I forget when it came out. It came out in
was it like 2005?
Yeah. So yeah. I was a junior in high school when this came out.
Swinging single.
Yeah. But I've always liked this. I didn't read it. I've heard of it, but I didn't read it until late 2006 or 7. I don't recall. But I've always liked this issue. I've always liked Shazam. Obviously, but I don't. The art is great. Keep in mind, this was Joshua Middleton's first DC art ever.
Okay.
So what was kind of neat about it is I had the opportunity to talk to him about it, and he was saying how he would have done things different. He was just some
really like did he pinpoint anything specific?
All of it, he said. All of it. He just said all of it, which is fine. Fun fact, Joshua Middleton is from like 5 miles down the road. I mean, he doesn't live here anymore, but his family does. I think he currently resides in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's very far away. But yeah, that's the art. Some things I don't necessarily care for, but given the fact that this was literally a 18-year-old kid or 19-year-old kid drawing Superman Shazam First Thunder, I'd say that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like it overall. This is one of my favorite Shazam runs.
So one thing either I didn't realize or I didn't put together until I started reading these issues. I didn't know that Fawcett City supposedly was in California.
I don't think I realized that either.
Because I like to read, after I read my story, I like to read like recaps and other things about it, make sure that I've like absorbed this. And they were talking about how Fawcett City's in California. And I'm like, I had no idea that was a West Coast city. I always thought it was an East Coast city.
I always thought it was a Midwest city.
Did you? I thought it was East Coast. Isn't that funny how we've all just kind of assigned it to wherever we thought it needed
everybody's
to be?
Different. Yep.
Yeah. I guess that goes back to when DC wasn't publishing it, that I always assumed he was in that comic company's version of New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking here at the fan base. Okay, it is right here. Okay, very cool. So on the DC official website, it says Fawcett City is an idyllic American city located in the American heartland of the Midwest.
Really?
So, yeah, I was going to say, I remember it
Huh.
being part of the Midwest somewhere. I'm reading down further, get this. It is often citing, and depending on the story, as in being in Minnesota, Indiana, or Wisconsin.
Oh,
Very
interesting.
nice. Yeah. I always, for whatever reason, I can't remember what run. No, it was Power of Shazam. Fawcett City, I think, is in Missouri.
Okay.
But I think obviously different runs put it wherever they want.
I have no idea how I got that California thing, or I mean, I know how I got it. I read someone saying that, but I don't know how they got it.
Yeah, I think modern day Shazam stories put it more on the East Coast.
Okay.
In
East
the
Coast
movie,
or
I
West
think it was in
Coast?
East Coast.
East Coast.
Because I think, yeah, in the Shazam movie, he's not in Fawcett City. He comes from Fawcett City, but it takes place in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, is modern day puts it on the East Coast.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, I was going to say, I always pictured it in the Midwest, and I never realized where I picked it up from. Huh.
So this is supposed to be the first meeting ever of Shazam and Superman. I think post-crisis, their first meeting post-crisis was in the Legends miniseries, which we have featured in the past in the retro review. So I guess that this kind of predates that, because this is like their first meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, this is their first meeting of in what came after this.
Which makes sense, because in the beginning of my issue it talks about this is before Wonder Woman, this is before The Flash, this is before Green Lantern, but it's after Superman and it's after Batman.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I always thought that they met before that, but I guess it's been so long since I've read it. Yeah, it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. What grade would you sign this to? And I'll give you that. Well, I think about a grade. My next question to you is: if you saw this run in a dollar bin and it was complete, would you pick it up?
For space reasons, no, but I did enjoy it enough that I would continue reading it or reread it.
Okay.
I'm just, the older I'm getting, the more conscious I'm getting of space.
I have the exact opposite problem.
That's because your kingdom has expanded a lot.
It is. I went from, my little space was just maybe slightly larger than Tim's.
Mm-hmm. Poor Tim.
Now,
have you ever noticed that like his space is like...
Every time we see him, he's pretty soon he's just going to be a face between
he's
two
just going to be... And then it's going to go like this.
Yeah, the next one will just be him writing. He'll just draw a face on a long box and the camera just point at it.
That's Tim, yeah. That's funny. Grade like A, B, C, D?
A through F. Yep, A through F.
Oh, what we've read, I'll give a B+, because I don't exactly know where they're going with the plot of it yet. So
sure. My hope, and maybe we'll get this in the future. Although we've sort of got it already, but not what I wanted or expected, is a Shazam and Wonder Woman more involvement, because they come from the same pantheon of gods. Yeah. And we had that run within the last, I forget when it came out, within the last 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it wasn't what I wanted it to be. I wanted them to focus more on the gods. And how the gods impact them individually. I mean, we saw some really cool action, don't get me wrong, but I guess maybe that could be like maybe its own miniseries. So I think they were trying to stick in this little tiny sliver of story. What was that at the time? Was it Dawn of DC? Future State? It was after Future State.
It was after Future State.
I forget where it came out of exactly, but yeah, like that's... I would love to see another one. Instead of Superman and Shazam, we should get a Wonder Woman Shazam. And yeah, well, I'm sure, like I said, it changes all the time. They could even do they should do like a Supergirl, a Wonder Woman, and a Mary Marvel, or a Darla or something. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
they should do that for Women's History Month.
that's right.
That would be really cool.
Cool. Anything else you want to say about the series, or ready to move
No,
on?
no,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
ready.
So we're going to do our book show portion right now. When we're done with the book show, we're going to have some extra time just to kill. If anyone has some questions, start throwing them in the chat, and we'll jump to them when we're done with our book show. How many subscribers do you have now?
15,505.
Wow.
But it is trending down. I think I've peaked.
You say that all the time, and then the next week you're like, "Oh, I've got another 7,000 subscribers."
Right? I remember between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was averaging 1,000 subscribers a week.
It's crazy.
I don't know how that happens, but it's like now I was riding this big surfing tidal wave and it was doing great, and now I'm like sitting on the ocean waiting for another tidal wave, but instead of an ocean, it's receded so far back. I'm not even in the ocean anymore. I'm practically in the desert waiting for another tidal wave. But it was fun. Wow. Thank you to everyone who subscribed recently. And to those who have subscribed in the past. So it's been a lot of fun.
So what about content? What about a book show?
Content, I have a few things planned, but I need a few things to happen in order for me to get there. Like I said, I was teasing about this weird year that I'm having with signatures and just more opportunities to get signatures. What I was, in a way, what I'm trying to say is I've waited until conventions to get things because I've always liked collecting the signature myself. And I have to remember, like, that's not always going to happen. I really want to get this book signed or have this person to sign anything. Sure. Sometimes that's just not possible because that person just doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, that person doesn't go anywhere, or they really sticks to one area. Like David Micheline, who's responsible for a lot of stuff. But what I really like him for is Madame Xanadu, Doorway to Nightmare. He's up there in age, so he doesn't travel well, but he lives in like New Hampshire or Vermont or somewhere, so he only does conventions up there. So what I'd love to do is get someone to facilitate a signature for me, but I digress. So I'm doing a few more mail-in signings that I've done in the past, so we'll see where those go. And I would definitely want to talk about them when they do happen. But in terms of a book show, I have here my copy of Shazam and Superman First Thunder signed by Joshua Middleton. So I did meet up with him this past year, 2025, Baltimore Comic-Con. And we were talking about this book, some of his works, his run on, on whatever, really. I was really just happy to talk to him at all. He's one of those people where I never get the chance to talk to him. And I did last year, and it was a lot of fun. His booth people hooked me up with a really cool Wonder Woman print. I'm pretty sure I sent in the mail. I sent that really cool print to Mr. Lasso last year. He talked about it last year on his channel, and it was a great print.
Absolutely, yes.
It almost didn't happen. Because the ones I got to his booth right away on Saturday morning. I was like the first one. They weren't quite ready for me. Totally understood because I was a huge nerd and I just ran there basically. They were still setting up shop. I looked at the prints. They didn't have what I wanted. I believe it was a family relative of his was like, "What are you looking for?" And I said, Wonder Woman, just this one doesn't really speak to me, so I'm going to pass. I'll get my signatures. And I bounced. I walked by his booth again on my way to somebody else. And that same family member pulled me aside and said, "Hey, we found this one. What do you think?" And I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
Give me that one. And I was like, does it come with
if you could show something else for a second, I can grab the print. It's almost within
within
reach.
Yeah.
So
I've got plenty. I'll just keep talking about this. So when I walked by his booth, like I said, I was going to somebody else. They pulled me aside and they said, "What about this one?" I said, "I absolutely love it. If I buy it, can I have Joshua Middleton sign it?" And they said, "That's totally okay. We charge for the signature." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, I want that sign. And then Joshua Middleton said, "Hey, you were here earlier, weren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here to buy this print. They didn't have the one that I was quite looking for last time." And he said, "Tell you what, if you buy it, I'll sign it for nothing." And he did. He signed it for nothing. And I think Mr. Lasso is going to show you what that one is. It's kind of awesome. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And I told him, like, he was going to sign it in black. And I said, no. This something like this.
Gold.
We need gold, buddy. We need gold.
Mm-hmm.
So he hooked me up. In fact, that's my marker because he didn't have gold.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's why
beautiful.
I always carry some markers with me. Look at that. Look at that. That is, I should just kept that for myself. No, I'm just kidding. But that is beautiful. That is beautiful. That
Thank you so much for that. That is beautiful.
No. I always go there to every con. I was thinking about, what am I gonna get? Like, I got to keep an eye out for cool stuff like that for people in the community or something maybe I can give away. And that piece, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's got Lasso written all over it.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. Thank you.
What are your? I know you're in a weird spot right now. So ideally, how would you display a print like that? If
my idea is,
would that be something that you would frame?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It's also something that I would like to have several things framed and rotate them through.
Oh, like the posters.
So
okay,
yeah. So like every week there might be, it might look familiar, but always one piece has changed every week. Something like that. So that's my general thoughts on that. So
okay.
I'm not living exactly where I want to, I'm ready to move out of where I'm at right now. And so it just kind of depends on where I end up,
Oh, absolutely.
as the next homes, which is why I don't want to invest a lot of time in putting something together that I'm just going to tear down in 3 months or whatever.
So let's speaking of just prints like that. When you're going to display something, because keep in mind this is a print.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get a frame like my poster frames? Like they're cheap. They're from Michaels. I think you're buy one get one free. Do you do some kind of frame like that, or maybe spend a little bit more in terms of money to get like a really good frame to complement it?
It just depends on the size. The size dictates a lot. Sure. My budget at the time dictates a lot too. There's some stuff that I have that you just couldn't buy a frame that size for, that I have had custom frames. So that's so expensive though. But it really looks nice though. I mean, it really does look nice. So,
and every time we go on a show, you and I together, not necessarily on this show, we always end up on somebody else's channel sometimes. Yeah. And you're always like, "Oh, I got this."
Yeah, I got this, and everyone's like, "Why aren't you showing this?"
I didn't even know. You always show something I didn't even know you had, or two, I didn't even know existed, but you have it.
I do.
And I was like, how come you never showed that to me before? We've been friends for how many years? I didn't even know you had it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to do my book show right now, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, talking about what's on my channel, and then we'll go into what's coming up on my channel. But what's on my channel is the back issue of the week all month long. It's Women's History Month. We kicked it off this week with DC Special number 3, an all heroines issue with an awesome Nick Cardy and Neil Adams cover. That's the current back issue of the week. My comic book additions video is an AOK from Mr. Gretzky 9966, Matt. He sent some Silver and Bronze Age stuff. There's some DC, there's some Marvel, there's some graded, some raw. Check out this video. He was so overly generous, as he always is. So that's what's currently on my channel. Say hi to Alan real fast too. And then what's coming up on the channel, tomorrow, back issue of the week, will be ladies for Women's History Month, but it will be Marvel. And look for that. Tuesday's video is going to have what you typically expect in a video from me. A lot of Bronze Age, some DC, some Marvel. But I have a comic book to show on Tuesday afternoon. I don't know anybody who has or ever has had a comic book like the one I'm about to show. And this comic book has intrigued me so much. And you'll understand more when the video drops Tuesday afternoon. If anyone has one or knows of someone who had one like this, I want to hear your story. Because I stumbled upon this one completely in the dark. And now it's taken this special little place, not only in my collection, but in my heart. Because there's so many questions. This comic book has so many questions it isn't funny. So that video is dropping on Tuesday afternoon. At some point, John's Comics with friends and I will do another JLA versus Avengers. How about a book show?
I just realized your shirt. Your shirt's cool. I like your shirt.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
I just realized what it was.
For book show, how's that?
Oh, that's a great issue.
Do you have this one in your collection?
I do.
Mine has a little date stamp, too. You see that? Silver hair bronze age babe would like that. It's not her birthday, but she still would like it because it has a date stamp.
That is cool.
And it was Sarah's birthday on Friday, so we hope that she had a fantastic birthday as well. Jedi's here. Nice. Hey, Jedi.
I can tell you who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Starfire.
If you'd like to share a cover with us on Instagram, use the hashtag FanboysLive in the Retro Review, and you can do your own at-home book show. We would love to see it. So cool. So that's what's coming up on the channel, and that's what's in the channel. We've got, I don't know, about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left before we wrap this up. Alan's got a beat-up copy of the Justice League. This is a fun one. This is just a fun story. So
I think that's the first time they went and fought on... No, wait, no, that's not true. They fought before that. Never mind.
And if I'm not mistaken, this cover was used in the Bronze Age DC Comics poster book, too. Oh, so you could have like a little 11 by 17 poster of this cover. So
love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is. It's a cool cover, too. I think it was the first time they fought each other on the cover, though.
Yeah,
it went toe-to-toe before, but I think Superman was under some sort of spell.
And Superman fought Captain Thunder. I was thinking about that earlier today.
Doesn't count because it's not Shazam.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but the history of Shazam compared to Superman is pretty interesting. Back when Fawcett tried to rub out DC, it was kind of fun to.
Yeah, that kind of backfired on them.
A lot. Because DC owns Shazam now.
Yes. Majorly backfired.
Yeah. Backfired so much they're not even around. But the characters are.
Yeah. Which is cool. Is Mary Marvel still the Shazam?
What do you mean? Like, yeah, she says Shazam.
Well, no, I know she says it, but I mean, she had her series, a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago or whatever, the new champion of Shazam.
Oh, new champions of Shazam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she still?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Because I think it was just Shazam passing the torch, or Billy, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I got to do this. I can't be here for the city. You're in charge of the city now.
Gotcha.
Which I kind of like that when superheroes pass the torch for whatever reason. Not like one of them has to die. It always drives me nuts. Like, we got to kill this character to elevate this one up. No, just put him on hiatus.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman versus Shazam, that'd be it. That'd be a DC. They're talking about, DC KO fight nights like this. They should have done a Superman or a Shazam and Wonder Woman. That would have been sick.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
For sure.
Turn into Warlord Miss Marvel, yeah. Turn into Warlord as Miss Marvel.
That's right.
Love it.
So we got about, 30 seconds left and we'll wrap up the show. I want to thank you guys so much, too, for joining us for Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. If you watched on the Rewind, we appreciate you making it to the end as well. Next week, still trying to figure out exactly. We got a couple feelers out there. We're waiting for some people's people to get back to our people and see if that all can work out.
We have people?
Yeah, we do have people. What do you think Foo's been doing since he hasn't been on the show? He's our people now.
He's running the background? Okay.
Yeah, he's running the background like a little squirrel in a cage. But We thank you again for watching the greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. We'll be back with another great show for you next week. Until then, we hope you are happy, healthy, and safe, and we look forward to visiting with you again soon.